Jimmy, how you doing? Corey Boswell here. Today's guest is 60th ranked high school player of the class of 2025 in basketball, according to ESPN, Kaden Magwood. How you doing today, Kaden?
Doing good. Got the gym. Uh,
Has
yeah.
has your father next to you been getting on your nerves yet?
Uh, yeah, a little bit.
Man, so before we got started, you were telling me that you transferred to Combine Academy in North Carolina, and you
Yeah.
spent the last 2 years at Oak Hill after you spent a year at Western in the city of Louisville, where you're from. What led to
Yeah.
your decision to leave? What led to your decision to leave Oak Hill, and why did you pick Combine Academy in North Carolina?
Well, later my decision to leave, it just I wasn't really getting the vibe that I like. Well, for the past 2 years at Oak Hill, it was been up and down, and I wasn't really getting the vibe of the coaches wanting me back, which I don't know why because I really had a good year. I feel like I had a better year than my first year there, but they didn't want me back, so I just had to switch to a better program in my eyes in Combine Academy because they got a ton of pro people that's been gone through there. And also I feel like it's better because at OK I really wasn't really getting in the weight room like that. Like they didn't make it mandatory, so I wasn't really in there. And I need to get stronger for my next year. My next year, because it's my senior year, I'm finna go to college. So
Right
it's better.
now, now you were saying that they. So according to, I'm just trying to make sure I heard you correctly. You pretty much said that they more or less didn't want you back, and you feel that you personally, your second year was kind of better than your first, right?
Yeah.
So when you're pretty much told more or less that they don't want you back, how did that make you feel, and how are you able to push through that? Because a lot of times when people your age get told things like that, it's kind of hard to overcome.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you could say that you kind of knew that you were going to be successful anyways. Is that the way you kind of looked at it?
Yeah, that's what exactly how I felt. Like I was a little hurt because I mean I was there for 2 years. Like I stuck it out. The first year I didn't really get to play that much, and then by the end of the season, like I was one of the best players on the team. And then the next year I came in, I feel like I was the best player on the team because I helped them win a lot. Um, and then like it just felt kind of weird that they didn't want me back, and like, but I already knew I was gonna be good because as long as a team that lets me rock out, let me do what I could do, I feel like I can win for anything, for any team. So
Now, I want to touch on the weight room situation. You said it pretty much wasn't a mandatory thing there. Is it mandatory at combine?
yeah, of course it is. Like I've been in the weight room. Well, I was there for like 2 weeks. We was in the weight room every day, so it was mandatory. Well, and then like just like it's a pro. Like I feel like it gets you to be a pro. Like get you ready to be a pro, and that's what I'm trying to be a pro. And like they got coaches that I feel like they got better coaches than Oak Hill because all the coaches at Oak Hill they really just talked about shoes the whole time, and that was like it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So
You said it. Say that again. They talk about what?
they was talking about shoes the whole time. Like I got these because they a Jordan brand school. So like they would just
Yeah.
talk about Jordans all the time, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like we over here losing, y'all over here talking about shoes. So that was the first year, and then the second year it was the same thing, but we was winning. So I mean,
Yeah.
just because I had a bigger role, I feel like if they would have given me the role that I had this past year, my first year there, my sophomore year, I feel like we would have won more. We would have won more games. So, but
Now, I asked you before we got started. You said you currently weigh 175. And you're saying it's mandatory at Combine Academy, North Carolina, with the weight room regimen and stuff like that every day.
uh-huh.
Do you guys have like a pinpointed thing about how much they want you to to gain in muscle, or do you feel like you kind of have a thought of where you want to be at as far as your weight's concerned in the weight room?
Oh, I have a thought. They don't really have like a pinpoint thing, but like I feel like I have a thought to where I wanted to be like by the time I'm going to college, I want to be like 185. I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle. So just to get ready for the college season and all the strong people they have in college. So trying to get there.
All right. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I'm gonna bounce around in this conversation. So you spend 1 year at Western High School, and you're from the city of Louisville. When did you realize it was best fitted for you to leave Louisville to pursue your basketball endeavors in high school?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I didn't want to go, but my dad told me that I had to go because he understood that for me to be successful in this game, I have to move because this city it kind of brings you down a little bit in basketball. So my dad forced me to go to Oak Hill, and I feel like it was a good decision at first, and then this past season, it was okay, and then I'm obviously making the move to Colorado. So it was really my dad's decision.
Yeah, but at least you realize he did that. He wanted that for the betterment of you, because let me tell you something. As a man that's not far from 40 years old of age, your father's not
Mm-hmm.
wrong in anything he said when it comes to the city of Louisville. They support those who ain't from here. Just that's
Yep.
how it is sometimes, unfortunately.
Yep.
What was the hardest part about moving away from where you're from or where you've always been?
Well, the hardest part is leaving my family because I'm a really big family guy, and it's just leaving them and then not being around them every day, and I had to take care of myself because I never really did that. So it was really just getting ready, like just helped me get ready for college, how college life is going to be. So,
What was your time like at Western, and how did Western help prepare you?
Western was great. I feel like it was okay. We had some great players, at Western. We, we should have won it all, but we didn't. It didn't go like how we planned it. But Coach Britt really prepared me. He forced us in the weight room, and I feel like I think I gained like 10 pounds of muscle there, and then ever since like I just had the mindset of me being a pro. So
What are these colleges getting with you?
they getting everything. They getting my my willingness to win, my scoring ability, my passing ability, my leadership ability, me playing defense, me being an all around player, rebounding, everything.
Now, defense, some would say, isn't as big of a part of the game as it once was because of how often teams score and the higher scores. How important is it for you personally to focus on defense rather than scoring?
I think I think it's a big deal because if you can stop somebody and they can't stop you, then you're gonna win most of the games. So defense is everything. I think I sometimes I'll be a little lax on defense, and then like it causes a defensive breakdown where the team scores. So I just got to be more focused on defense than me. And when I get when this next year combine, um, I'll try to focus more on defense a little bit more than offense because like everybody knows I can score, so they just want to see everything around my everything. Me being an all around player, so I think just me focusing on defense is the best for me right now.
What's the recruiting process been like for you?
It's been solid. Um, I've gained a lot of interest from colleges this past summer with me playing with Team Loaded VA. So it's really been smooth. I think I'm finna cut my list here in a few. But I mean, just me talking to my dad, talking to coaches every day to figure out which one's the best spot for me.
How hard has it been for you to decide if a school is a good fit for you or not?
Um, it's been I wouldn't say it's been hard. It's just me figuring out who loves me and who doesn't, and that's a little bit hard. But I mean, I feel like whichever team I go to, I feel like that's gonna be the best spot for me. So
Now, when you go to choose a school, is it would you say you would want to play close to home or not close to home? Because you've been away now for a few years from home, so you're starting to get
I
kind of
mean,
used to it.
yeah, I wouldn't. I I really don't really look at that, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
I really just look at who has the best pro ready system for me for me to
Right.
go to the NBA in the next year or 2 years that I'm there. Um, and also just who like I said earlier, like who like just died and who loves me and who doesn't, and who also is like who also like take care of their family, like who considers them family as soon as they step on campus. Cause like I said earlier, I'm a big family guy, and I also consider my teammates as family too. So just
How,
that.
how many points did you average your second and final year at Oak Hill?
I think I averaged like 17 to 18 points.
And
Solid.
what was your
I
3 point percentage like?
think it was like high 40s.
You said that modestly. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
What do you
high
look
40s.
for in it? What do you look for in a teammate?
Um, just I mean, just a really good guy who wants to work, who wants to be a great the best player they can be, and who loves staying in the gym, and then just who's a good guy to be around. To be honest with you, that's all I really look for. I don't really look for too much.
Who's the hardest person you've had to play one on one in a game? Like your toughest competition?
1-on-one in a game.
Well, like
Uh
when you're playing a game with your team, and you're having to guard somebody and they're having to
yeah,
guard you, that
yeah,
type of thing.
I understand. It was probably I didn't really play Darren Peterson, so I can't really say him. But it's probably Jamarian Bateman from this past the AAU season. He played with Power Five. Only reason I say that is because he's a 3-point hunter. Like so, like he just runs around the arc and just goes off screens and stuff. Kind of like Steph Curry a little bit, but it's it's kind of a little bit like that. But I mean, just it was cool, but just him. I think so.
Gotcha. I got a few more questions for you before we end this because I know you're busy.
Okay.
Being from the city of Louisville, you kind of it's kind of I want to say a super rough area, but kind of rough, and some things happen that you don't want. Have you ever lost anybody close to you as a young person, like a friend? And if you have, how were you able to get through that and get past that?
I always say I lost somebody. To be honest with you, 'cause my dad kind of keep, you kept me away from that. So like, I don't really lost nobody for real, but like the person that really when they died recently, it was like it was like my first year at Oak Hill. My papa had died, but it wasn't nothing for like he wasn't a hood guy or none of that. It was just really my papa died, so it really hit me hard because it was my grandfather. But I would say like I said, my dad really kept me away from that. So I wouldn't say really anyone really died when I was younger, for real. So it wasn't really bad.
So you said it was losing your grandpa was kind of hard. Do you
Yeah,
still think about him often?
yeah, of course. Like yesterday, I was with my grandmother who was his wife, um, for like 30 years or something. So like she was just talking about him. It was just I kind of broke down a little bit just because just thinking about him and just missing him. So like just
So give you a bit of advice as a person that's over 20 years older than you.
Yeah.
If a man doesn't show emotion, you don't want him around you. You can't trust him. If a man
Yeah.
has nothing to care about, seriously. So keep that in mind when you surround yourself with people as you get older and you navigate through this college and potential NBA life and careers. Because in my life, looking back in certain situations in my personal experiences, if I had people that cared and had emotions, I'd probably had a different life. Real men cry and real men show that they
Yeah.
care. So don't ever let nobody tell you otherwise or different than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Always, always keep that in mind. All right, two more questions. Let's say when you do get your college decision, how much of what you've been through life do you think is going to flash before you right before you make that announcement? Because everything in life happens for a reason, whether good or bad. When you know, when you go to look back, how much would you say everything like that has prepared you for where you are currently?
Um, I think I I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to ask. I'm confused with what you said a little bit.
Okay. So let me rephrase that. With everything that you've been through in life, we all go through things,
Yeah.
good and bad. How has that everything that you've been through in life? How has that prepared you for where you are currently? Does that sound
Uh,
better?
yeah. I get what you're
All right, my
saying.
bad. All right, sorry.
It's prepared me for this. No, yeah, you good. It's just it prepared me for this for me making my decision because like just me being in the gym all the time and other people telling my dad, um, you you pushing too hard, blah 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 blah. It really has made me like really appreciate my dad, like from where he sacrificed me and my siblings. So like it really has just made me appreciate him more, and it really has improved our relationship. For me being
Mm.
the best players in the country, and then just like it feel like the work paid off a little bit, but I'm not done working because I still have to get to that dream goal, the ultimate goal, and being in the NBA. So of course I'm gonna look back on it and be like, dang, this is all happened for a reason, and but I'm not gonna be satisfied with it. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna go to college, do what I do. Hopefully, I could get be a one and done. But if it don't work, I'll strive. I'll push myself harder to be uh my sophomore year to go to the NBA.
What do you look for in a coach and through the recruiting process? Were you ever excited about a particular school? Let's say you ain't got to single them out, but let's say this school was a complete opposite of what you envisioned. Have you ever been turned off by a school slash college university during the recruiting process?
To be honest with you, no, I haven't. I
That's
really
good.
haven't. Like I've always been open to every school. So like I really never really had a dream school for real. It was probably like Louisville or Kentucky, the schools I watched the most because I'm from Kentucky and I'm from Louisville. So it was those two schools. But like me being recruited by them, it's really been good. But Kentucky has like Coach Pope. I was talking to him some, but I wasn't really getting the vibe that he really liked me that much. So it's whatever. But like I mean, it's all good. Like I really never really been turned off by a school yet.
All right. Last question. How does Kaden Magwood want to be remembered when his time on earth is said and done?
I want to be remembered as being one of the best players to ever play basketball, and also being remembered as a great person, a respectable young man. well, not young man, but man. Um, a funny person, a person who enjoys life, and a person who who gives back to the community. That's what I
Kaden,
put on.
take care of
What?
yourself. Where can the people
Yeah.
find you on social media?
Well, Instagram, you can find me at no noise made underscore K3, and that's like my handle for everything, my Twitter, my Snapchat, everything. So you can find me there. So I really appreciate you though.
No, you're good, man. You take care of yourself, all right? Keep your dad out of
Uh,
trouble.
yes, sir, I will. Thank
See you, man.
you.